Every model from the brand, whether it's Toyota, Fortuner, Camry or Innova, has been created to reflect the brand's promise of producing the finest quality cars. Apart from strength, Toyota vehicles also retain one of the highest resale value potentials and have made safety a top priority for all its cars, which is why it is so loved among its customers. The CEO of Toyota, Koji Sato, has made some big announcements recently that hint towards the company's future and how it is planning to undergo the transition as well as keep up with the world market. So what are they? These two major decisions made by the company have signaled that it has ultimately recognized how electric vehicles are the world's future. But it may have been quite late to register and accept this fact for a company that played a major part in revolutionizing the manufacturing company nearly 50 years ago. It's impossible to talk about modern manufacturing without first talking about Toyota and the incredible 100-year-old Toyota dynasty, which fueled and inspired the beginning of a new era. First, Sakichi Toyoda, born in 1867 and deemed the father of the Industrial Revolution in Japan, reinvented the loom, which led to its productivity being dramatically increased and established factories for selling his inventions to the rest of the world. Then, like father like son, as they say, Sakichi Toyoda's son, Kiichiro Toyoda, took the family business to the next level by expanding into the automotive manufacturing sector, which resulted in the foundation of the Toyota Motor Corporation in the year 1937. Nearly 30 years later, Kiichiro's cousin, Aiji Toyoda, a mechanical engineer, was handed the presidency of the automotive manufacturing company, and with the help of company's chief engineer, named Taichi Ono, developed the lean manufacturing principles, which include the Kaizen steady improvement, as well as the just-in-time Kanban system. These developments further directed a shift in productivity and innovation in Japan's automotive ecosystem and facilitated Toyota in dominating the international car market for the following 50 years. During that time, the European and American car makers had to run to learn as well as copy Toyota Motors' manufacturing techniques. But an upheaval like the one Toyota Motors inflicted on the American and European automotive companies in the 1970s is kind of happening to Toyota itself, but with a significant caveat. While American and European car makers were able to withstand the revolution of lean manufacturing, Toyota might face a lot of trouble in surviving the recent uproar which is currently underway. The upheaval, which appears to have been greatly undetected by the company's top administrators, is the exponential development in the share of electric vehicles in the market, mixed with China achieving a contemporary stage in its industrial transformation. The first major announcement was that the company would formulate a dedicated EV strategy after Toyota's unfortunate and half-hearted venture with the bZ4X. The design of the bZ4X, which was developed to share a platform with hybrid and petrol cars, symbolized that its first entirely electric contribution had redundant parts that led to very high manufacturing costs compared to the clean slate EV competitors of Toyota in the market. According to a Japanese newspaper, Toyota isn't expected to launch its full-fledged EV range until 2027 to 28. However, at the rapid pace of the EV market share dramatically growing worldwide, Toyota will be fortunate enough to retain even a tenth of its 10 million unit market share in the primary market in that period. The second major announcement was that Toyota's former CEO, Akio Toyoda, will be handing down the company's reins to make way for the next generation of the automobile manufacturing company. He is set to be replaced by Koji Sato, the head of the luxury subsidiary Lexus. The transition has occurred as the automobile industry rapidly shifts towards electric vehicles. Market experts in Japan have warned that Toyota is at risk of losing investor confidence if it does not take the lead in electric vehicles. Former CEO Akio Toyoda has himself acknowledged his limitations, stating that his strong passion for traditional cars and his resistance to digitalization, electric vehicles, and connected cars have hindered his ability to lead the company in this direction. On the other hand, the new team led by Sato is expected to take Toyota to the next level. Despite this, many Japanese industry employees were taken aback by Toyota's departure. Tesla and Chinese automakers, however, have been constantly trying to lower prices on electric vehicles, leveraging their dominance in EV production and putting pressure on rivals. Toyota has little to offer in a rapidly changing market. Recent key figures indicate the challenges that the company is currently facing. According to reports, in December of last year, electric vehicles accounted for nearly 33% of all new car sales in the UK and Germany, which is a substantial increase from less than 10% in both markets only 2 years prior. In China, electric vehicles made up over 25% of the market in December of 2022, compared to just 5% in 2020. These figures suggest that technological shifts do not occur in a linear trend, and that expansion can accelerate dramatically after specific market thresholds are attained. For instance, the share of electric vehicles was below 5% for almost a decade in Germany and the UK. But once it reached around 5 to 10%, it grew shortly to 33% in barely 2 years. Moreover, the rate of market share growth is expanding even further, with Norway dominating the world in the growth of electric vehicles, taking only 3 years for the EV market to go from 12% in 2014 to over 32% in 2017. Whereas the much larger German and UK markets encountered an even faster uptake, over only 2 years from 7% in 2020 to 33% in December 2022. Toyota is stuck at the starting line while others surge ahead. The complexity of the automotive manufacturing sector suggests that it's simpler and faster to scale up prevailing production than to develop new product lines for fresh products. Accordingly, companies like Tesla and BYD, which have already been producing large volumes of electric vehicles, EVs, can meet the surge in global demand for EVs more easily by scaling up their existing production than companies that don't have critical EV production. Unfortunately, this creates a significant problem for Toyota, which only generates 0.2% of EVs despite being the largest automotive manufacturer internationally, and yet not ranking in the top 20 for EV production. By October of 2022, Toyota had only managed to sell only about 14,000 BEVs globally, with an annual production rate of less than nearly 20,000 in comparison. BYD produced 911,140 BEVs in 2022, and Tesla produced 1.3 million, 10,000, roughly 650 times more fully electric vehicles than Toyota. In just a few years, fully electric vehicles have captured almost a third of Toyota's addressable market in Germany and the UK, where 1/3 of new car sales are now EVs, and this percentage could surge to 50% by the end of the year. As we mentioned, in Norway, BEV sales increased from 30% market share in 2018 to 80% in 2022, therefore capturing 50% of the market in only a period of 5 years. So if the global EV market follows a similar S-curve, by the time Toyota initiates its EV range in 2027 to 28, around 50% of the global car sales will be BEVs, and Toyota will have missed out on this substantial market share. According to analysts, it is predicted that by the year 2027, electric vehicles will make up nearly 90% of global car sales, resulting in a collapse in demand for petrol and diesel cars. This change in consumer preference will leave Toyota toiling to keep up with a rapidly changing market. In addition to the company's already high debt burden, with over $170 billion in current liabilities, Toyota is one of the most indebted automotive companies in the world. On the other hand, the company's $215 billion in property, plant, as well as equipment consists mainly of factories producing internal combustion engine vehicles, which are becoming extremely outdated. As a result, Toyota's ICE factories are now deemed stranded assets, just like coal and gas power plants. They will become increasingly difficult to justify as EVs continue dominating the market. The repercussions of this shift will be substantial, especially for Japan, whose economy relies heavily on ICE vehicle exports. This is why the CEO has said it won't be making cars in Japan anymore. This is all for today, but for more of such latest videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any new notification from us. Until then, stay tuned and thanks for watching.